guys. So today I'm going to watch this Close to Me performance music video from Blackswan, and I'm also going to talk about a couple of things on this video. Um, gonna talk about the drama that's happening with them, but I figured I'd also look at this video while I do it, and yeah. So let's get into the video because sometimes I don't know if it's the company or the companies where they do the live shows, they'll copyright claim me. So I'm gonna try to talk over it a bit while still reacting to it.
Oh my
Turn
god.
it down a lot. Okay. So some background information, some context to put some more things into perspective for people for some reason. If anybody needs more details, but I'm gonna assume people who are fans of Black Swan now know that they used to be Rania and that they used to have a member named Alex who was biracial, and she was one of the first black K. I think she is the first black K-pop artist. Um, so okay, so there's that. She faced a lot of challenges, racism, and mistreatment while she was in the group. It's really obvious. It's not even something that you really have to explain. I mean, they would perform a whole song and leave her off of the stage and then bring her on the stage just for the rap part. Then she would complain about, not, I don't even want to say complain because that just seems negative. She talked about how the hairstylist didn't know how to do her hair, and they didn't know how to do her makeup, and they would complain about it, how she didn't know any Korean, and the company was basically just saying there was no need for her to learn Korean. And yeah, she just didn't have a good time in the group, and they also constantly flew her out whenever they wanted to on a short notice. There was just a lot going on there, on top of the fact that there was just so much going on with Rania, the group itself, with producers working with them. There was this one black producer, and I think what they tried to do was name one album, or they tried to uh, promote the group as his group, and he never agreed to that, and it just got really messy, and he ended up leaving the company, which is crazy. So it just goes to show the management there. They need to hire new people if they're still working there, honestly, at this point. But anyways, it seems like it might be a little better. So that's the background information about Rania, which is now known as Black Swan. For recent stuff, I wonder if this is where Stacy filmed their one dance video. If this is a popular place for everybody to go. Anyways, so more recently, they have gotten into some controversy, which is really unfortunate. Let me just say this. Overall, it's really unfortunate that this has happened because with this new transition, yeah, it was kind of weird in the sense that they were performing songs from the Rania album, and they were still having the members vocals on some of the tracks and stuff. That was weird. That was kind of a rocky start. Then we go to basically Leia, I guess that's the member's name. She is the Brazilian and Portuguese member. That's her. The Brazilian and Portuguese member, recently coming out. I don't know if she actually said that Fatou bullied her, but basically, I guess some kind of fan was talking to her mom on WhatsApp somehow. So that's a thing. I don't know all this. Basically, she was saying that Leia felt bullied by Fatou, and that they went to the management and nobody did anything. Now, automatically as a K-pop fan, you're gonna assume, oh, if they went to management and they didn't do anything, then that just means like the management isn't doing their job or whatever, because we always know like how much mistreatment happens in the industry. But we could also, it could be also another option, and that option being the management didn't view it as a problem that needed to be handled, not because they weren't taking it seriously, maybe because the problem itself wasn't serious. And that's another thing that could have happened. So the mom came out and said this. Leia never refuted any of the claims. I believe she added fire to the fuel by liking some post or making some type of post. Look, I only have Twitter. Okay? So, and even if I didn't, like, I don't know if I would be following all these people. Um, so yeah, that happened. And then Fatou finally came out with a statement saying basically that she has tried to talk to Leia about being insensitive to certain topics and issues. If I'm not mistaken, surrounding race as well, and just her being inconsiderate in general. Um, Also, Leia's mom made Fatou out to be kind of like aggressive, and like, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And I feel like that's kind of like, I don't know. um, like just perpetuating stereotypes basically. And we all know that unfortunately, like in Brazil, they do have race issues as well. There's this like one painting. I was watching this documentary about the carnival girl. Like they pick a girl every year, and then like one year they had a girl who was like darker skinned, and they ended up like like they were like, oh yeah, you're Miss Carnival, but then they were just like, when the photos came out or something, it was somebody else. Like it was a lighter skinned, like mixed kind of girl, multiracial girl, and it was just so insane. And there's like this painting in Brazil where there's like a person's like a black person and a mixed person, and their first baby starts off like a little brown, and then like as they go on and on, their baby just starts to turn into like this perfect Brazilian, or the ideal Brazilian person, kind of like the poster child, which would be a multiracial kind of looking person. Um, all right, Stacy's playing now. I gotta turn it off. But so yeah, and also Brazilian fans are so dedicated. They have really huge fan bases, and they're really committed to their artists. I mean, look how far Anita has gone. I feel like, yeah, Scooter Braun does a good job managing her in the States, but also he wouldn't have been wanting her as an artist if she didn't have a huge fan base, you know? Even with other artists, like you always see Portuguese in the comments and stuff. So yeah, they're pretty cool like that. But yeah, they do have those issues, just like we have issues in the States, and everywhere has issues of race, you know what I mean? So obviously Brazil has, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the second highest black population outside of Africa. So I could be wrong, but I'm not sure. Um, yeah. So basically, Fatou said that she tried to enlighten her, and as soon as I saw these things, this is what I think happened. Like, Leia probably said something that was culturally insensitive, and Fatou probably was like, "Hey, don't do that." And obviously, when people bring up race issues, some people become really uncomfortable, you know, which is really telling, and they see it as an attack on them, or like their character, when in reality that person is just standing up for themselves and basically saying, hey, can you just treat me like a human being, you know? And that's really what I feel like happened. And I know there's people that say, oh, all the black people are gonna defend Fatou, and just because basically she's black. And you know what, even if that were the case, who cares? Because the fans that support Leia, it's just like with the evidence that's been given, and you actually having critical thinking skills, there's no way that you could really defend her. Instead, you should be like trying to teach her to be nicer. Because if you look at videos of them just doing stuff, hanging out, doing their little lives, all the members look really annoyed by her. She just seems kind of rude. No offense, she seems rude. And also, not to mention, she said that like Fatou was jealous of her, or I don't know. People were saying that Fatou was jealous of her. I was just like, okay, but but yeah, there's like this one of her kissing Fatou while she's literally saying don't do it, and that's like really not okay at all. She's obviously not comfortable there and doesn't want to be touched. And not only is she touching her, she's kissing her. So it's just bizarre. It's weird. And there's another video of her crying and saying she's like thanking Fatou for giving her talks from time, like giving her talks, whatever that means, from time to time, and like she's like crying, but then she's laughing, and then her face is straight, and all the other members are just awkwardly looking at her and laughing. I mean, we have to read the signs here. She might be a bully. We might be getting another lineup switch in this group soon because, I mean, I don't know. I feel like they could definitely reconcile this, but just like the way that it has been gone about so far, it just feels like they should do a lineup switch. But that's not going to happen because she's such a huge, the Brazil fan base is so big. So they're probably going to stay together and they're probably going to have like beef or something. What y'all need to do is put like, I mean, it seems like the other two members are on like cool with her. So it just seems like Leia's mostly starting the trouble. Maybe get another Brazilian Korean member. I don't know. But yeah, the entire situation is really unfortunate because of all of the controversies that this group has faced already. They shouldn't even be around really after all these controversies. Are you kidding me? Like, some groups don't even make it past one scandal, and they just keep on coming back, and they're actually doing pretty well for themselves. So I was like, yeah, but this is the thing with the past and yada yada yada. But no, now we have another scandal, and I don't know how it's going to affect the group. I mean, I guess ultimately it is attention. I guess in this day and age, all attention is good attention, you know? So maybe I've seen like K-pop pages that I watch them do some things from time to time, like talking about Blackswan, and I'm like, what? Like, y'all don't ever be talking about Blackswan. So it's interesting to see people are actually hearing about it. Cause I was like, oh, nobody's gonna really hear about this, but people are responding to it. So it's interesting. So it seems like their fan base is pretty strong. What do you guys think? How do you guys think this should be resolved? Versus how do you think it will be resolved? More than likely, I feel like it's just gonna be pushed under the rug. I'm surprised the company themselves haven't made a statement yet. Yeah, I think it's just gonna be pushed under the rug, and yeah, I'm surprised they haven't made a statement, and I'm also surprised that they allow the girls to just make those statements like that, you know? So hopefully this can get resolved quickly, because it's a little messy. Maybe they'll do a video or something. I don't know. Or they should just like keep promoting and not talk about it at all. And like release a new song or something. This is the time, Blackswan, release a song. Well, everyone's eye is on you. But anyways, I still wish this group a lot of success. And like, ultimately, people can learn if, because even though I'm saying this is what I think is happening, I don't, like, there could be other things going on too, but I do think that that is what's happening, what I just said. But people can learn and grow. I know Leia is like literally a grown woman, but that doesn't mean anything. People still grow as adults. You grow until you die, basically. It does seem like Fatou has approached her multiple times to try to teach her, but maybe some people need to learn lessons other ways. And yeah. So I mean, in that way, it means like fans calling it out or trying to enlighten her. So I think that's why people always talk about these things online. Some people are like, "Oh, who cares?" or whatever, and it's just like, well, you can help your idol be a better person, the one that you like. So, but anyways, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.